Welcome to Two Readers, No Filter, a podcast for people who love books and have a lot of opinions about them. If you ever finished a book and need to talk, you're in the right place. We're like a book club, but better. Get it together, Stuart. I am Claire.
And I'm Cameron. Thank you for joining us.
Yay! All right. Today's book club pick gives you the warmth and fun of summer romance. But does it look too good to be true? Let's dive in on Dolly All The Time by Annabel Monaghan. So this book was published May 26, 2026. It's classified as fiction, romance, and oh my gosh, you guessed it, contemporary romance.
What? Dolly.
And as always, we're about to discuss the entire book. So there will be spoilers ahead. So you've been warned.
Get out.
Get out now. Basically, quick breakdown, the book follows Dolly Brick, a single mother who's in town due to her father's house catching fire. As the main caretaker of her father and brother, she comes to help run the fish market they have in town and help out for the summer. During a delivery, she runs into Stuart and helps him change his tire. Stuart is in the public's eye and needs help with his public image, so he asks Dolly to be his fake girlfriend. For money. For money. Okay. So at the beginning of the book, you know, we're thrust into Whitfield, Rhode Island, and just like I feel like Annabelle was setting the scene. What were your first thoughts about like the island and how that was done?
I just wish it made me want to be there. Like I just wanted to be in that little town. Like she always does such a good job with these little towns. They're so cute. And Rhode Island, I mean, it's not going to be 100 million degrees also. So I was jealous about that.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I like how the weather kind of coincided with how the story went. Like whenever everything was good, it's sunny, it's warm, you know, summertime. And then it's like anytime anything bad was happening, it was like snow, grim. So I liked how she always pointed out the weather.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
I also loved just the description of the town. Like she really, like you were saying, like really made you feel like you were there. And so I really loved that element of everything, as well as just kind of like Dolly coming back to the town that she knows so well. Her best friend's there. Like, you know, she was talking about her shorts being a little too tight, a little too, like, you know what I mean? It just made me giggle of like, she did a really good job of like coming home as well.
Yeah.
But when she went to deliver the fish at Stuart's house and she was dropping off the delivery and she was like, I'm going to be home for a little while. And then she was on her way out and we ran into Stuart. What were your initial reactions? Because I had like a strong reaction on the first.
I didn't
meeting.
have a strong one, so I'm interested to hear yours.
Oh, mine was like, damn, this early? Wow.
I know.
Yeah. I just remember being like, wow, this is so early on to have it established. I mean, like, I feel like the deal was established by like chapter 3.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, that's insane work being that quick.
I know, but I like how we had a lot of time with them together, but it was very quick.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought it was hilarious that he basically, you know, she's driving, she's riding the bike back to her house and he's like, psh, psh, like, hello, can you help me? And I thought it was so funny that she was like, yeah, I know how to do a tire. And she just kind of moved on. And I thought it was so funny that she was like literally collecting all of the details to give to Naomi for the plot. Because she was like, Naomi is going to eat this up.
I know, the whole time. I loved that.
But she played it so cool.
She did.
I loved that. She didn't say a word.
Yeah.
So, loved that. Good for you, Dolly.
I know.
And I also thought it was so funny how he was like, oh my God, you don't read the Post? Like, I've had such a bad day. It was like giving someone that was like, oh my God, I had the worst day ever. And they're like, don't even ask me about it. And they stare at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you sure? Do you want me to ask? Because it feels like you do.
Can't tell.
Yeah.
Giving off a different vibe. Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. I was getting butterflies. Like every time they would be like, or Dolly would say like, oh, he touched me here. And I'm like, oh my God, it's starting. And it's like, I was actually rooting for them.
So then Dolly goes home. And I feel like that's the first time you like meet the gang. You know what I mean? You meet Freddie Brick, who's her father, who owns the fish market. You meet Christopher, who is her brother, and you meet Gus, her son. I thought it was an interesting insight that, like, you come home and they're all cooking together and they're all like, they all have a part and they all help the system run and they're all really critical pieces to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you think about meeting the family?
I love the family aspect and like just seeing, especially when Stuart would come into the picture and interact with Gus, like that always, whenever there's a kid in a book, like I love it, just especially in a romance, seeing how everyone acts around each other. But Christopher, I also thought was an interesting character in a good way. But
Sweetness.
Yeah, he was just, I liked that he had a whole background story, and it was like there was one quote, she was talking about how he might need to like change his meds because he starts like making up random things that don't make sense, and she's like, this makes me anxious because I don't want him to slip away, and also because it's how my mom left. She never sat us down and said she was leaving. It was more of a slow departure, like when the water's draining slowly from the bathtub. You don't really notice until it's completely gone and suddenly you're sitting there cold. And I just love how she has all of these like metaphors, and especially in like relating the mom to Christopher. Yeah. And I feel like it always comes back to her mom, like in every situation. It's always like, oh, my mom left. Oh, my mom left. And it's like, she just keeps pushing it under the rug. So she hasn't properly dealt with it, it seems like. But
yeah. And I thought that was another one of the quotes where, you know, I was sitting there. I'm like, that's not funny. That's beautiful. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
You
Do
know?
we have to talk?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah, I signed you up for therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because I think that the whole point of this story is that nobody cares for the caregiver. You know? And I think that having that perspective is huge, and also having that history with her is huge. So then Stuart approaches her after work at the fish market, and he's like, hey, let's talk. I have a deal for you. And then they get into the negotiating and what the deal looks like and what that includes. What were your thoughts during this piece of the book?
I was like giggling the whole time. Like Annabel always, she's like the funniest author that I've read. So I have more quotes from like that part, especially when she like set a price and Stuart was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And she's like, actually, I want this one. And he was like, that's not how this works, Dolly. Like you stick with the price you said and I just agreed to it. Why would you? So I thought that whole thing was funny, but I wrote down the part where she says, I want bespoke. And he's like, bespoke what? And she was like, do you know what bespoke means? And he was like, custom made for a specific person. And she said, oh, really? I don't need that then. Yeah, I loved that part. I have it like dog-eared because I was just laughing so hard. But I loved that whole part. What did you think?
I remember that now that you said that quote. Yeah, I did find her so funny. Yeah. And also, I loved that he gave her the definition. It wasn't just like, do you know
didn't make her feel
like, what?
Yeah, like exactly. I love that.
Okay, the damage on the house. She had the firefighter come and they said like, no, this is done roof? For, girl. Like, you can't come back from this.
Yeah.
Duct tape won't fix it. And so for her to be like, okay, the roof's gonna be 50, so I should ask 60.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yes. Like what I thought that the roof situation was interesting, like how the dad was like, oh, we'll just move out. And I was like, that was such a dad thing.
I just thought it was so funny too, because I think that it is so telling that she was like, no, this is exactly what I need. And she wasn't going to ask for more. When like so many people, if they were in that situation, I will out myself, me, I would have been like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's make it worth your time, Daddy Big Bucks. Like, you know what I mean? So good for you, Dolly, for being a good person, because I wouldn't have been.
She's better than us.
I would have been like, and I want a stipend for my wardrobe. I want a stipend for food. I want a stipend for this. I want a stipend for that.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Speaking of wardrobe, when her and Busy, his sister, were going shopping, I loved their dynamic. Like, oh my gosh, everything about her relationship with most of his family, not everyone, but especially Busy, and how they're going shopping, and she's like, Naomi's gonna be freaking out, like, please come. And I love how she kept thinking of Naomi, and it's just like, Dolly is the person I want to be like Dolly. Like, she's just, I know you should not always put people before yourself, like, but I just feel like she's so good at thinking of other people
Yeah.
And I love that about her. But yeah, that whole shopping scene was so fun.
I agree. I thought it was very much like Princess Diaries. Like she was getting the full works.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I loved that Busy was really supportive of it.
Yes.
And Stuart was like, hey, Busy's going to come pick you up or like meet you there or whatever. And I just thought it was so funny that she was like, oh my God, you're going to tell her? And he's like, yeah, I'm telling Busy. Like, Busy's going to eat up the drama. Are you kidding me? Like,
he's going to love this.
Exactly. And the fact that Naomi and Dolly were already like tracking Busy and like everything like that and keeping up with her stuff, it just made me laugh so much more because they were watching like this picture of this person come to life of who they knew from like the tabloids and everything. And so I thought it was adorable. I was happy that Naomi made the shopping spree because I thought like it was one of those moments that you wish that your best friend can make it. And sometimes, you know, for example, if she was still in Boston or wherever, then Naomi probably couldn't have made it. But because she was in town, like she was able to make it. I don't know. It was so wholesome.
Full advantage of Naomi being right there. Like I love how she's like, I need to spend all this time with her. I want her to be a part of this.
But you have to, because like stuff like this, like phases of your life, you'll never get them back. And so I think to me, it was just one of those times where your friend calls you up and you're like, girl, this is kind of crazy, but I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah. You're gonna love it. I don't know how I feel.
Now that Naomi is brought into the picture, I thought it was hilarious that she ran like a tourist shop.
Yeah.
Like that was so funny to me where she was like, no, come here, let's sit on the ground. Like later on in the book, she
kept doing
she just kept being like, no, we're closing up. Or she'll be like, oh, no, I got you a bikini on the house. Like it was just so funny to me that this was like her character and she was happy with a family and everything like that. But she's just still like a girl at heart. You know what I mean? Like we're all just girls.
And she was so supportive. Like she was never like, I'm so jealous. Like I wish this was me. It was just like, oh my God, I love this.
Smell him for me.
Yes. Exactly. Oh my God, yeah. Because I love when she first smelled Stuart.
Yes!
Like in their first meeting, she was like, Naomi's gonna want to know.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, this is the true love story for Naomi.
No, I just think it's so funny because you know your best friend like that where you're like, oh, damn, I have to ask this question because I know she's going to get so mad at me if I don't ask right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to get ahead of it.
Yeah. So then after the shopping spree, she returns home, new haircut, new clothes. Now the family's like, Dolly Brick, who are you, girl? What did you think about the interaction between her and her dad when she said, I made a deal?
One thing was just Christopher's reaction to like, why do you look like this? Like, I love how he's like, something like, this is not you.
Yeah.
What are you doing? So I just love how blunt Christopher is.
Yeah.
I love that about him. But yeah, what did you have any?
I really appreciated the dad's response because I kind of feel like most dads would have been like, you're pimping yourself out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so I thought that he had a little bit of that.
Yes,
where he was like a little worried, but then he was like, okay,
hopefully
like, I don't know. I get it.
We need a roof,
whatever.
girl.
We need a roof. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was sweet. And I know that I'm jumping the gun a little bit in the fact that she told Gus a little bit later. But I'm going to jump the gun now since we're talking about everybody's role. I appreciated how Dolly like came out and told him.
Yes.
Because I thought that was going to be a third act plot line was like Gus was going to find out and then this and then that and then he would have like ran away or something. I thought that was going to be like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that she looked at him and was like, Bud, this is going to be weird, but I'm going to tell you right now, I am not dating that man, but it looks like I am.
I just love how she handled
Gotta get
all
the money
of it with Gus. Like even when she started to develop feelings for him and Gus is like, what's that about? And she's like, okay, yeah, I have a little crush. And she's just very upfront with him, but not like too much. She knows the line not to not cross, and she was just very good about the situation. But one thing that I wrote down is Annabelle is so good with her analogies or metaphors, whatever you want to call them. And in this one, it was like the comfort in, how she's just the stop on like an overnight road trip, just the comfort in you stop at because you need somewhere to sleep. And it's, you know, comfortable, but it's just the stepping stone for the Ritz-Carlton at your final destination. Like, I'm just a stop in his journey. And so she kept saying that, like, oh, I'm just his comfort in. I'm just a comfort in.
Yeah.
So I loved how she used that analogy.
Because I think that no matter, like, obviously this is a fake dating situation, but I feel like summer romances are like that. You don't know, is this just summer? Is this just a fling type of thing? Is it, You know, I mean, obviously, again, this was a contract. It was a deal, whatever. But I think that has so much concern with a lot of these like romance novels that we're reading during this time of like, oh crap, is this real? I don't know. Is this real? So I think that that analogy, I would agree, is this a stop or is this the stop?
The stop.
Yeah.
Am I actually the Ritz-Carlton?
Yeah. But after that, they went to their first event together. But they went out. She went into the back of the car with him, and she was sitting in the car, and she was a little nervous. And I remember this was, to me, the hand-holding. And I was like, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't, like, compliment her.
Yes.
At first, and she kept being like, you know, when you like something about someone, you point it out.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Well, and I think it turned into, like, a good teaching moment, too, of, like, so why didn't any of your girlfriends stay? Yeah, that makes sense to me because I can tell.
Yeah,
you already like, goofed up 5 times at this point.
Yeah,
so
he's cold. I don't like that. Yeah. So I like how she was so, just with everyone, so upfront.
Well, and I appreciated how Annabelle made like hand-holding so intimate.
I know.
I was like, oh, okay, girl.
Yeah, like I loved that too.
Yeah.
She did a really good job with the intimacy, like, because that doesn't always mean like, oh, we're banging, you know? And I like how I could feel the romance through just hand holding.
Yes, and what you were saying before of like, I could feel the butterflies of like, oh my God, he intertwined his fingers. He remembered. Like, for women, it truly is the small things.
It is.
We do not take a lot to get happy. But anyways, she comes home. She sees Gus coming home with a friend.
Oh, Clay.
And she was like, yes, Clay, because she was so excited because I think Gus was having a hard time with friends at school. Yeah. He's getting to the age where people are starting to do stuff
that he doesn't want. He wants to just be a kid.
He just wants to be a kid.
He's pure.
Respect, Gus. Anyways, he met Clay in the town and they started to develop this friendship. And of course, you know, Dolly's like, you want to go on a yacht?
Yeah.
Let me bring the boys. Which, good for Stuart being like, yeah, bring the boys. Yeah, who cares?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I thought there would be pushback.
I thought so too. I thought they would be like, well, let's not bring kids into it. Or him being like, wow, you told your kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
So I respected that.
So I did too. I thought the whole yacht day was so cute. I thought
Gladys.
That packed the picnic. She was the best. She was so cute. And the menu and everything. I was like, oh, this is so fun.
I know. Get me on that yacht.
Yeah, exactly. And Naomi coming in clutch with the bikini man.
Yeah. Always.
So, I loved that though. I thought that they were, I don't know, there's something again so mischievous and sexy about like being in public and like the little moments of like, oh my God, he brushed against my arm. Did he mean it? Did he not mean it?
I love how she always pointed those out.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. Like any tiny little moment, they really captured that. And so I loved that piece.
Another thing I loved was how she was always scared to say what she really wanted.
Yes.
And obviously Stuart helped with that, but it'd be like, okay, you want some coffee? And then Gus was like, you don't like coffee. You want tea. Say you want tea. And then he kept remembering that and would say that. And he was always encouraging her, like, you don't actually want this. You want this thing. And so I love how that kept coming up too.
Yeah. Stuart did it at the dinner.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's when Stuart.
And I was like, oh, damn. I kind of loved that though.
I know. It's hot.
I know. It is.
Someone's
is because
sticking
you
up
know
for
me.
Like,
no, but also you know me.
You know, that means you know me.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Listen.
You intertwine those fingers,
boy. Yes, compliment me.
But anyways, wait, okay, so transferring to the dinner. So we met a whole slew of new characters at the dinner because it was like the family meet the parents night basically, and Dolly's like, oh God.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna throw this in there. This could be applicable to any point in the book. There's no way Dolly smelled good ever. I'm just gonna address that right now.
Yeah.
She worked at a fish market and then she's like, oh, let me just run home real quick and spruce up.
Her hair.
Huh? Yeah,
Her
good thing you chopped it all off. Because if not, you smell horrible.
Yeah, that's so
and she
true.
showed up with fish half of the time.
Yeah.
You were sitting in the car or you were biking with that? Nasty. In the heat?
Ugh. Ooh. No, she probably did reek.
I didn't want to push that on her, but when they said fish market, I was like, oof. And every night they eat fish.
Yeah, she's always chopping them.
Okay, fair. I get it. It's free fish.
Yeah.
I get it. But the house,
oh my god,
I'm like, don't worry about the roof, man. Fumigate the whole thing. just light it up.
God, because I remember you saying, you're like, I only cook salmon when I know no one's coming over, because the house smells forever.
Yeah.
Cooking it once a week, it smells the whole
Which,
week.
I mean, I guess they're grilling out back, so I guess it's not as bad.
But you're still
what are you doing
cutting
in winter?
it up, like,
what are you doing in winter?
True. You're not grilling out there. No way. But yeah, she's
Anyways.
manhandling all the seafood.
I just had to address that right there.
I didn't even
Stinky.
think about that.
Oh, I did. As soon as they said fish market, I was like, where are you going with this? Because that's not hot.
That is not.
Isn't this supposed to be romance book? Like, fish market? Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish they would have done like a produce stand or something. Like
yeah.
a produce, I don't know. A general store.
The fish was interesting.
Again, it checks out. But anyways, beside the point, irrelevant. So they go to the meet the parents dinner and the family is there.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts about everybody in the room and kind of how that was handled?
I'm trying to think. I'm getting this one mixed up with the business dinner.
So she went to the delivery door and Gladys was like, you silly girl. And she was like, yeah, I remembered too late. And then they came in and I think she met up with Stuart and then Gladys ended up bringing by 3 drinks because she didn't know what she wanted.
And that was the,
Which, okay. Oh my God, MVP Gladys bringing by 3 drinks because she didn't know what you wanted. Sweetheart, come here. Forehead kiss, right for you.
Love Gladys.
Exactly.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't change.
Yeah. I had a thought, and this might have been my own issue, but I found it very confusing with the characters because they weren't calling mom and dad. I started mixing up Henry, his father, with Grant because they weren't using mom and dad.
I found myself doing that too, and Victoria was the mom, and then she came back later, and I was like, who's Victoria?
Well, and I remember going back a couple of pages and saying, wait, who was that again? And then I remember saying, I don't feel like rereading all of that. Like, I'm not going to do it. And so I just remembered being like, that was probably really important, and I'm going to miss it.
Oh, well.
So I think that, like, even if she like said, like, I noticed, he doesn't call his father dad. Mm-hmm. He just, does it. But in the writing, she could have been like, his father said.
Yes.
His mother said.
That would have been very helpful.
Because I was so confused during the dinner scene. There were like a couple of times, like I think when they were talking about her father's business before like it got all like tension, I was tracking. And then the cousin's mother-in-law also came. And I was like, why are you here? Why are you here? And all they wanted to do was like be catty, which I kind of ate that up. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But it just... That to me, the dinner scene, I don't know why I got so confused, but just all the names really quickly at once. I was like, I don't know. And I skipped it.
Oh, well. You figure it out eventually.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. I was like, if this is that important, it will come back.
Yeah.
And I just missed out on a plot twist that I probably could have guessed. Yeah. So you want to know what? That's okay.
Oh, well. But I remember at some point in the book, I don't think it was the dinner, but like they kept saying Henry, and I was like, who is this again? Oh, the dad. Because they kept like, it wasn't explained, like you were saying. His father, Henry, like, or something. But I just kept getting confused, and Victoria kept confusing me.
Yeah, I don't know why I kept switching them up.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
I was not surprised that the dinner got into the business though, because I think when you have a family business like that, business is family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is no line. So it reminds me very much of like the TV shows like Dynasty and all that type of stuff where they're like, no, the business is the family, and family is the business. So like,
and that's when Stuart had a panic attack. That's when they like went to the garden, right?
Yes, because somebody said something.
Yes, and it just ticked him off.
But it was after the coffee. So points for Stuart for the coffee thing. But it was after, and then they met in like the vegetable patch or whatever.
Yes.
And then I think they kissed. But anyways, I really liked how they were able to kind of center each other and be a partner for the other person, even though that was not the deal.
It went deeper than they thought it would. And I remember she kept saying, whenever he would say, oh, I actually like you. And she'd be like, oh, because I can handle your panic attacks. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And she just like couldn't. She was trying to have that boundary up of like, this is a deal. This is a contract. Like, I'm just trying to get my bag and get out. I'm trying not to get attached, but it's like, she can't help it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to either.
Yeah. I think that this was like the time that she started to convince him to like open up more and be more relaxed with work and like stop being so cold and basically use her as a practice girlfriend and the fact of like, let's work on a lot of things here. And I really appreciated how, you know, you started to see the small moments again, how we were talking before of like, he's going out on the boat and everybody in the club is like, whoa, Stuart, you're going out on the boat? Like, you haven't touched the boat in forever. And he's like, yep, gotta go. And you started to see them texting each other more and having like almost inside jokes and I don't want to wait until Thursday to see you. And I just think that that was where, for me, the butterflies started to increase. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
I know. And then when they went on the boat, just them two. And then
so
they kissed and I was like, oh my God. And they're like, just to get it out of our system. And I'm like, yes, do it.
And you're like,
yeah. But I loved that boat scene too.
Yeah.
I loved it.
But I kept telling myself, I was like, just sleep with each other.
I know, just do it.
Sorry.
And then they
Don't
did.
push it, but just sleep with each other. But anyways, I thought the relationship between Gus and Stuart was really beautiful. And I loved how respectful he was with it, how respectful Gus was with it too. Because I thought that they both wanted to respect her in the same way, if that makes sense. And so I loved how, you know, he started to have like this friendship and was starting to ask him about like sailing and being interested in this. And it was just really cute to watch.
I loved their relationship. I thought it was so cute.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about when they went to Boston and took like the helicopter
and they went to his office and then the assistant came in and was like, dude, you're about to be late for your meeting. And then they went to the dinner.
And then that was
magnificent.
Yeah.
I loved it. When she stepped in,
yes.
I was like, get it, girl.
Get it. And it, I loved that. And it was like the perfect time. She just is able to read a room and I loved that.
Well, I also think that, again, someone who has like this growth and understanding of like family businesses within a tourism type of culture and like making memories and stuff like that, she was the perfect person in that in that moment to say, weird, I thought you would have gotten it. And then to like be able to do that just detached from the whole thing.
And then I love how she was talking about that Sunday and then someone, I think it might have been Henry, that said like, oh, my grandmother was actually the one that made that. And she's like, oh, what? We get that all the time. And I just thought like the connection was cute because like it's a reminder like they did all kind of grow up in the same town. So that was a good reminder of like they're all connected. So
but then after that is when he drives her
and
to the apartment.
One thing leads to another. They of course sleep together. And then I loved after, I think it was in the morning or something, and he was like, I made you some tea. And she was like, what? He was like, yeah, with honey. You didn't have whatever. And she was like gushing over the fact that he did that. And I was like, I would have been the same way. Like, we just banged. But that's like the hottest thing you could have done. I loved that.
But I really loved how they basically like they slept together and they were like, okay, we should probably talk about some things. And I really appreciated that because I think that defining the relationship sometimes is really helpful and you can spare feelings from it. I feel like if you wait to define it too long, people start to get hurt. And so I really appreciated how they started to look at that. And I absolutely adored their relationship because this is really real. And I am there for you as long as you want me. But if you don't want me, tell me first. And I just think that what they said and the stability that they were looking for is so much of what my relationship is based on. Where I was sitting there and I was like, yes. Like I was so for it. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Like they're going to be partners for each other. This is beautiful. And so when we got to I'll call it the third act climax conflict or whatever you want to call it, I was so disappointed.
I know. One thing about me is I hate a third act breakup, and it's in every single romance ever. It's going to happen.
They have to.
So the whole time I'm guessing like, oh, this whole he wants to have a kid and I don't. I thought that was going to play into it. because they kept trying to make a conflict of like, we can't be together because he wants a child and I don't want to have another baby.
Yep.
And so I was like, ugh, that's gonna be the whole thing. Then it blew up, which it still annoyed me. Like any third act breakup is like, just because like, I mean, you know, who was it that found out about the contract?
The cousin, Grant.
Yeah, went into his briefcase and Christopher kind of helped, which I was like, don't drag my man into this. Don't drag.
Also, it's kind of like you're abusing.
Yeah.
Read the room.
That was messed up.
That was really messed up.
It was so
Grant.
messed up, but I don't
But also,
like,
is it that serious?
Like, see how they're acting together and everything? Like,
yeah.
Shouldn't you be able to get this position on your own without sabotaging the other person? Like, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just think that, like, I was so proud of Dolly for, I think a lot of times people do kind of keep people in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciated Dolly for saying, like, no, he deserves to have a life. He deserves to live his life. He needs a purpose. Like, his purpose just can't be the tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I loved that. But I knew as soon as she said she was inviting Christopher, something was going to happen.
Something, yeah.
But, like, I agree with you. Don't bring Christopher into this.
Don't do it.
But it's so rude.
Like, Grant, you should just be able to get the CEO position. Just be better.
Anyways.
And then the way Stuart handled it really pissed me off, which I understand he gets, like, all in his head. And I'm not saying I would handle it better, but the fact that this whole thing blew up and then he just, like, didn't speak to Dolly for that amount of time, like, what, almost a year after that, I was like, we're grown adults. Like, yes, this just blew up in your face, but it also kind of blew up in Dolly's face. Like, she really likes you. And now this whole facade is like,
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't like how he handled that.
There was a couple of things that I was really frustrated about. I think, first of all, acknowledging my stupidity, which maybe this is because I was skipping things, but I didn't think, I forgot that the whole fake dating thing could come out.
I know.
I don't know why I forgot that, because of course, like, when a story starts with a fake dating story, it's gonna come out. So like, why did I assume that it wasn't going to? But I agree with you. I thought it was gonna be something coming from left field. Like, I was not gonna see it coming at all. And then when it was revealed that it was the fake dating thing, I was like, oh, that, like, it just doesn't feel that bad anymore. I don't know. No. I thought it was gonna be the kid thing, or I thought I forget what else it was, but I thought it was gonna be like possibly like a crazy left field was going to be like one of them has cancer and that's why he's always attached, or like something crazy, which I know Busy already had that, and that was what was going on, so they wouldn't have done it twice. It's kind of a hat on a hat, but yeah, I just thought it was going to be something crazy like that I was going to be like, Jesus, like
but no,
you know, the fake dating felt too right there.
Obvious.
Yeah. Anyways, so I should have seen that coming. I'm dumb, but I hated how he handled it. I hated how he handled it. And honestly, I think that everything he said was a lie, because the whole entire time he was talking about stability, and he was talking about how they would be there for each other and how he would never abandon her.
He would
someone
change
who
the world.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you're saying all these pretty little things, and then you don't make an effort to come back to her?
Crazy.
I would have never forgiven you, because why would I trust you now? You're already left. Plus, I already have that emotional damage that I have not dealt with from the past. That just confirms the fact that I am worth abandoning and I am worth leaving behind.
Yeah.
So that to me tanked my score as soon as this happened.
Me too.
And I was so pissed because I was like, it's okay. He'll come back. He'll come back. And then it was like time passed.
And then
time
his mom
passing.
basically had to do it.
Well, the whole thing about the mom was so weird.
It was.
I didn't understand that. Which maybe, again, because I skipped parts in the dinner scene.
Yeah.
I missed something. But, like, what was the purpose?
Yeah.
So, no, genuinely. Like, what do you think that was?
Which part are you talking about?
The, when she invites her over for tea or something and they go to, like, talk.
So, because Victoria was...
the mother
was in the hospital when Gus... she was the one taking care of them.
There it is.
And that's when I was like, who is Victoria? And then Christopher was like, who is this lady? Or someone said that eventually. And then she explained it, but it took a while.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my gosh, Stuart's mom. It was just, oh, Victoria, which didn't click in my head. It's not talking to me. And so then they talked, and she was like, okay, let's get tea. Let's do it.
Yeah, and but then, like, what was the point of that? Like, just checking in as a mother?
I guess it's like, I know you don't have a mother figure, so I'm going to step in and just see how you're feeling. Have that, like, girl talk, because you don't really have that outlet except for Naomi, but that's not the same.
Like, that to me didn't fully make sense. Like, I was waiting for an alternate agenda, especially because, like, when you're thinking of wealthy, privileged, like, most of the time, people, when they ask you over for tea or when they do something like that, it is extremely manipulative.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it just didn't, which Victoria volunteers at a hospital. So, like, I get it. She's a nicer one out of the bunch, but I don't know. I was just waiting for it, and I just didn't really fully understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand where Annabel Monaghan was going with, like, the last, I don't know, ever since the party, like, after that moment, I was like, where are we going? What's the plan? What are we doing? What's going on? Exactly.
It was just at like a stalemate for a long time. And I was like, it doesn't seem like Dolly to not say anything. Like, it was just weird. Like, after she got the check and she was like, wow, he didn't even say anything. And I was just like, okay. Like, why? Like, I understand this is his fault. He blew you off, isn't talking to you. But, like, if you really care about him, why don't you just, like, say, like, hey, I got the money, like, you didn't want to say anything? And then instead she lets it build up.
See, yeah, I would have, like, she let it build up, and then she went over with Naomi to the office, which I thought that was dumb.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, where has this been?
Like, why
you
not?
know? But
like,
I guess that also could have been, like, she doesn't advocate for herself, so, like, she has to do it later. But it was just one of those things where I was like, I would have yelled at him already. Like, so this isn't real. Yeah. So I was right. Good to know that it was just a check. Hopefully you cashed out and you got every penny worth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I was so irritated. Like, when she went to the office and everything like that, like, I don't know, it just felt so high school.
It
was like, ooh, girl, tell him.
Yeah, her friend, Naomi being there with her, like, yeah. You tell him, girl. Like, oh, shit, you just said that. Like, no.
I don't know. It gave me the ick a little.
I did not like the whole, you know, climax thing whenever, like, the coming down from it, especially. I was like, what's happening? Why are we doing this?
And I think the fact that it took him a year to, like, come back and chat with her, even when, like, his mom was like, no, he's doing great things, like, it was almost like, I felt like his mom was, like, trying to keep her on the line.
Yeah.
Of, like, I know that you're a really good woman for him, and, like, I want this for him, but he can't get it for himself.
Yeah.
Almost like, just give him a little time, girl. But, like, it just felt weird. Like, the rest of the book, I was like, are you kidding me?
I just hate that the reason they came back together was because his mom was like, would you ever get back with him? Yeah. And then she's like, oh, yeah.
Well, I also thought it was sweet of Gus to, like, go to his mom and be like, hey, I really want to go to the sailing thing.
Yes.
Can I text him?
Yes.
And the fact that they were friends, I thought it was very sweet. But Dolly girl, you forgave him too fast.
I kind of wish it was Gus that pushed her to be like, Stuart, like, I've been texting him and I love him so much.
I wish Gus pushed Stuart.
Don't
even play with me, man. That's my mom. That's my mama.
That's my mom. Thanks for the check, but...
and I also think he would have been like, dude, I know it. You know it. Like, why are we lying?
Why are we avoiding this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 smaller honorable mentions. When Stuart redid her room. Stuart, oh, the man that you are. Like, I was so annoyed but so happy because I thought it was so cute. Of, like, he wanted to change something just for her that would, like...
And because he was like, I know she's not going to do it, so I'm just going to do it.
Exactly.
Take initiative. That's what a woman wants.
And listen. We say and we talk all the time about what we want. If you just listen.
We'll give you like 1,000 options. You just need to listen to one.
Yes.
Pick up what we're putting down.
And honey, I gave you 10 in the last 10 minutes.
Pick one.
Or be smart and write them down and then pick one later.
Yes. That's what a smart man would do.
Exactly. But anyways, that was one honorable mention to me. Another one was like, I did love how he kept sneaking around the house to like come and visit her. Like they were like 17.
That. I know. I could see that. Like,
I was
like, he climbed up my window.
Exactly. I was like, oh my god, he's at the door.
I know. Butterflies.
Yeah.
But I did like that. And then randomly at the end, Patsy, Dolly's sister, comes back in the picture.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like that random little conflict of like how she resents her sister because Dolly was the one to pick up the slack, and then Patsy's like, you didn't let me help you. You just did it all. And then it was like that whole thing, and I was like, this feels kind of irrelevant, but I guess you need to close the loop.
I thought it was nice because I think that it showed conflict between sisters. So I appreciate that part. I do think it was kind of unnecessary.
It should have been woven throughout more.
Like, I agree.
It was kind of like in the beginning and then nothing in the middle except for like, oh, I saw you at the baseball game.
Or she said, man, I wish I could talk to her.
Yeah.
Like she would get this.
Yes. Something like that, like a little mention, but it just felt random.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Because I also thought that like her kind of crying and being like, you should go to therapy.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I'm happy that you guys are working it out, but also this feels like kind of chaotic right now.
There's a lot.
I don't
happening.
know. Exactly. Which I don't know. I had a love-hate relationship with that scene. So I don't know. And I don't remember it as clearly as when I read it. So I wish I did. But anyways.
It was just like sporadic.
Well, it was, I think the reason I feel so gray about it is because like I remember being like, I can see Dolly's side, but I also can see your sister's side. Yeah. Because sometimes when people tell me like, oh, you didn't ask me for help or whatever, I agree with you, but also read the room. Like see the need. So I don't want to have to train you to be able to take initiative on something. You should just say, hey, Dolly, why don't you sit down? I'll grab you a cup of tea in a second. Exactly. I'll handle it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You don't just wait around for people to give you orders. Like, you just have to do it. Which one random side note, I remember there was a typo on one of the pages where Patsy's name was Pasty, and I thought that was really funny.
That's hilarious.
So it was like, Pasty said, and I was like, huh?
What?
So yeah, Annabelle, I don't know what page that was on, but there's a typo. So
yeah, every single time I see a typo in a book, I'm like, oh, just a girl. Just like that's all I hear in my head.
We're all human.
Exactly.
We're just human.
But how did you feel about the ending? They got back together, and then he was like, how do you feel about me adopting Gus?
I loved that. I loved him wanting to adopt Gus because they had this like such a good relationship. So I wish I could have seen his side and like how excited Gus would be, because he's obviously gonna love that. But
so I would love for everyone to remember how great and sweet I could be at some points, but I would have said no. I'm a vindictive. She already left me once, and you didn't come back for a year. You think I'm gonna let you play with my son's feelings like that? Potentially, I would have said no. Like
I thought
as soon as this all happened with Stuart and he did not come back for a year, I was like, I'm not rooting for you anymore.
Yeah.
Like her mom walked out of her life. I totally forgot this until now, but Gus's father was like, abort that.
Yeah.
Insane.
$200 or
exactly. That was insane. So again, not choosing her. And then you allowed her to walk away for a year?
That is pretty messed up.
I never would have forgiven you.
No.
Like, I wouldn't trust you again. The trust is gone.
And it's like, I know he was saying something like, I was trying to work on myself, but it's
I
like,
don't give a shit.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And like, why? I hate when books do that. I'm so passionate about this, about how they have to separate to work on themselves.
No.
Why can't you do that together? That's what a relationship is.
But
I did like at the end, he had one cute comment before the book ended where
I probably wasn't listening.
I was, because I also was like, I don't know, I felt weird about him, but he said, I love you, and not just in your kitchen, which was a callback to like earlier when they were like, Dolly was like, oh, I love him, but I don't want to say it. So they're just like nonchalant about it and says like, I love you in my kitchen. And then she's like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. And then he said, I love you in your kitchen or whatever. And I like how there was a callback to that, but I don't know. I'm rooting more for Gus and Stuart.
I agree. I thought it was cute. Like, it wasn't cringy.
Yes.
Like, you know how sometimes you read romance books and you're like, oh god, kill me.
Yeah, like I can't do this anymore. Rip my eyes out.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought she did a really good job, and that's what I meant when I told you I was like, I wasn't happy with the ending, but like I was happy with the overall book. So I don't know, I was so conflicted when I finished it. And I just remember giving it to you and being like, let me know.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
But majority of it was great.
Yeah. Which into that, let's get into ratings.
Yeah.
What is your rating? 1 to 5. And honorable mention, I was going to tell you, there's a whole Reddit thread that I put in there. Everyone was like, this is tracking 5 stars for me, and then the third act happened and it all fell. So I don't know, I think she played herself a little bit.
Yeah,
shouldn't have done that. I would have been, even like if he did 3 to 6 months, I would have been more forgiving. A year is too long.
I mean, even 6 months is pushing it for me.
I agree.
Because when you think about it, it's only been like
6 months is better than a year.
Yeah, it's better, but like she didn't really have enough hesitancy for me.
No,
with that.
Like, okay,
whatever. I feel myself slipping. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, girl, what's your rating?
Okay, I think I'm gonna go, because the third act, like especially after talking about it, I didn't read it on Goodreads because I know after we talk, it helps clarify what I'm thinking. And that third act breakup, that whole thing, took off a whole star for me.
Yep.
I'm going to go with 4 because I was tracking for like 4.5 and then it just kept taking it off little by little. So I'm going to go 4.
I did 4 as well. The third act popped the last star off. Like I can't knowingly give that to you.
Yes.
I think I really enjoyed her writing style. I really enjoyed the setting of the scene. Like, it was so fun for a summer read. So I think, especially if you're thinking about reading this book, like, summer was the time to do it. It was great. But I just think that I just would not have forgiven Stuart. I said that in my Goodreads. I will say it again. That's the reason for the rating. And I don't know. I don't know how she did it. And I don't know.
Because they're literally like 40 years old, too. Yeah. That's the thing that got me. I was like, you're way too old to be acting like this, Stuart.
Yeah. And I also think that, like, there's times where you double down your relationship. That was the time.
Yeah. Because then that shows me, like, he just blew her off right when the conflict happened.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I can't be with someone who can't handle a little bit of conflict. Like, I know it's tough, but
also don't sit here and for the whole party talking about her like she's a prostitute. You all know I care about her, and he didn't even defend.
I know. Crazy work. And I'm supposed to be rooting for them.
And you want to know what I would say is I would look at my family members and say, you all are going to tell me that I don't love that woman, regardless of how we met and regardless how we got started. I love her.
Yeah.
When I brought her to that meeting with me, I brought her as my girlfriend. Like she was real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, he
could have said any of that.
And it was just Dolly sticking up for herself.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for her.
Oh my God. And her, when she went home and like she had to be like, oh yeah, it wasn't the best night. Dolly girl. Dolly, no. I was so upset for her.
I know.
But anyways, 4 stars.
4.
Yeah.
Across the board.
I'm excited. This is my first Annabel Monaghan book, so I'm excited to read her other ones because, like I said, I thought it was written really well. I'm excited. However, if she continues with these third act rip apart,
the thing is this one was so much longer than any of her other books.
Interesting.
So I don't remember the third act breakups being as like drawn out, because there has to be some sort of conflict.
100%. Agreed.
There always is, but this one especially got on my nerves, and I don't remember the other ones.
I just needed to be forgivable, though.
Yes, like that. That was not. That was not.
Yeah, that was not
Stuart.
But anyways,
get it together.
Get it together. Get it together. As always, thank you for joining us. If you liked our podcast, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We also have a Goodreads account for following along on what we're reading, planning to read, and what we have mentioned on the podcast. Find us on Instagram at 2 Readers No Filter Podcast and TikTok at 2 Readers No Filter Pod. Give us a follow and see some of our goofy content. As we are a new podcast, we would love it if you could share this episode with one person. Maybe your reading buddy.
Maybe. I don't know why the first name that came to my head was
Stuart.
Obama.
Oh. Obama? Maybe your summer fling. Share with your summer fling. Call them out.
Stuart.
And
anyone
hopefully they're
Stuart.
Better. Oh yeah, anybody named Stuart. Stuarts unite.
Unite. Come together.
Talk some sense into this, Stuart. But
yeah, seriously.
We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.